Hey guys, welcome back to Clockwork Dungeon Noodles, my Pain Train family. Are you okay? Are you well rested? We've had a week to just recover from last week's episode, although this week's episode had me crying for a completely different reason. It was a bit more manageable to watch this week, but it also did result in just a very sad moment of me just bawling my eyes out right at the end. So welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're okay. I have been thinking about all of you, mull over the last week's episode and talk to a few of you guys in the comments. Thank you guys so much for leaving a comment down below. You guys are the most vocal of the season, and I'm so happy that I get to chat to you guys, especially about an anime that can be pretty hard going like this. So you guys make it all better. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Very shortly you're getting my midway review where I review the season as a whole. I also get to bring out a video after that showing you what's coming out next season, what animes are airing on the screen, what am I breaking down, what am I reviewing. Obviously, Till Your Eternity Continues. You've basically made it impossible for me to stop because you guys are amazing to talk to, and I love it. I do enjoy watching it and then talking to you guys, sharing my thoughts and feelings. So I'm happy that it gets to stay on the channel. I hope that at some point we get to the point where we're starting to be in a better place for Fushi. So all I really want right now is for Fushi to end up finally living a quiet life. I think what I want more than anything for Fushi is I don't want anyone controlling Fushi. He needs to be his own person. So I really hope that he can fulfill something, whatever the narrator really wants. And I have a feeling as well he is kind of doing it. The idea was preserve humanity or something, or he's there to save people. I guess it's a honorable quest, but he's being pushed around to do it via like questionable means, but we won't know until we get a bit more information via him. But there's an interesting scene with him this episode, so let's talk about it then. Let's get straight to it. We are told that a ransom for the prince has been posted. However, this was rejected. And now all I can say, even with the end sequence, why is there no war against the church? I'm pretty sure, especially during the medieval period in which I'm presuming this is taking place, similar to, if you were to just kill a prince, there would be consequences. I know, yes, the church has power and there's many wars even in history where you've got a destabilization because monarchy is more powerful than a church, then vice versa, they're trying to destabilize one another. I don't understand how the prince being captured for several weeks and then nobody makes an attempt to get him or anything. I would like to know if there was an attempt made, whether the royal family are just going to take this news laying down. Use of the word cockwomble as an insult by Bon. A legendary insult. I am so proud of you for using it. It's a very niche insult though, I swear. I hear it in the UK occasionally. Maybe the person who was obviously doing the subtitles slipped it in. I doubt that's what the original translation said. Cockwomble, I really do appreciate it. I would love to know what he actually said. Bon upsetting the kid by giving bad news, by not being subtle. The response of him getting slapped. He deserved that. You've got to have tact when it comes to breaking bad news. The fact that the kid's there in the first place, I don't even remember seeing the kid last week, but it's nice to see Bon then sulking because he's been slapped by the kid. It does make him remember the fact that his dad did choose his brother, and he starts to go into quite a deep headspace. He ends up being quite the philosophical one right at the end where he's debating, thinking about his life choices, and eventually it's like, I don't actually hate my brother, I actually think he'd make a fine king and everything. He's such a fascinating character to follow this week, but basically open for us all to pick apart, him playing along, and he's a very smart person, but he's been using this guise of the OTT flamboyant prince. Very, very powerful because he's playing a role, but yet being himself. But he does start to grow stubble as the questioning progresses. This questioning period takes weeks and weeks. He does hate the church. I really don't like the church. We do get a bit of an insight this week as well in what the church believes in their religion. The Church of Bennett believes that Bennett, his smile is simply enough to feed everybody, a starving soul. You don't need anything because his smile is enough. And if you're starving, that means God has forsaken you. Apparently, Bennett also provides all equally. However, we have poverty and class differences existing within the world. Sadly, it does look very, very bad very early on, especially when Bond suddenly talks about ghosts. You're talking about ghosts to the church. That kind of talk will get you straight on the banned list because that means you're talking to the devil, and immediately they're like, oh, how do you know these ghosts aren't working for the devil type thing? You're being tempted. And I don't think he had the best chances of escaping. The point was they said that you need to prove that God has spared you. He had to live, which is irritating because he could have got away in a boat, but he had to be alive. So sad. I'm heartbroken over the whole death peep thing with Bonnet. It's more trauma for me. Let's talk about again the importance of the narrator. Something I tried to back in season 1 because a lot of people were complaining about the narrator, and I actually argued that you need a narrator, especially when your main character can't talk. Main character is a pebble. You need the narrator there to guide you along. He is a character as well. He's a very important character. He's also a point of consistency for us, the viewer. Obviously, I am biased because I love the man to pieces. He's very important. And this week, Fushi cannot speak. Fushi is literally in a hell. He has no oxygen. He's pretty much alive, then dead, then alive, then dead. And it's a cycle over and over again. Obviously, during those 9 seconds or whatever it is, he's slowly building himself up because he's just got that will to just continue, that will to live, firepower to not abandon his friends. He's pretty much in a coma. Someone in the comments said that it's the fear of being immortal but unable to move. Comment stuck with me, resonated with me. But endless cycle, unable to escape, but he can't die either. It's never gonna end. It's just over and over, and it's hell. I think I said myself it looks horrific straight up front. Someone's been literally burned and cooked alive by molten metal and you can't escape. But then if you think about it on a deeper level, with him being unable to die and him being immortal, it gets worse and worse the more you think about it. Bon using his brain about the idea of the weights. Todo is now losing weight because she's simply thinking about the prince and giving all of her food to him. We do see even in the shadow that Todo is Finn. Did we see Finn Todo at the end? I'm not sure if we saw Finn Todo, but I think we're going to see Finn Todo. I don't know if the prince died knowing Todo was a woman, but I don't think that would have been important. But also it's quite sad because I don't think Todo ever had a chance to tell the prince that she loved him, which is really, really sad as well. Realistic. People die without having it all off the chest. Sometimes they die without giving you a chance to tell them everything. It's been a horrible year, and I don't know if I want to make a video at the end. I think I might do a channel review at the end of the year anyway, to thank you guys. It's been a bad year, and I think I really heavily relate to what Todo might feel now, is being unable to talk to somebody and say anything to somebody because they're no longer there. I definitely relate to that, especially this year. The prince never told Fushi about you being able to bring people back to life. That's gone to the grave. There's a lot of stuff now that goes to the grave if Bon is dead, and I think he is dead, and I'll get to the reasoning at the end why I think he is dead. Yeah, the church are horrible, and the fact they also let the boy just die because he's just being used as a weight, and all he did was still a loaf of bread. You're being punished for being poor. I don't like him. I hate them. And I really hope at some point, I don't normally wish wars, but I want the church to destabilise. But I don't know how that's going to happen. It might be a load of wars that do end up happening when a monarchy gains power, and then it's a bit of a fight between the two. A recent survey did state that about 49% of the UK now doesn't have a religion. Let's talk about the best sequence. Fushi is back. Fushi regenerating. Fushi literally comes back from the brink. A very amazing moment. I love the fact there's still people there who haven't forsaken him and they're praying for his return. Quite eerie statue is just left behind in the metal. Are the people who love Fushi still gonna pray to Fushi even if he seemingly appears dead? Statue is quite creepy. But it is a victory for Fushi even if the escape goes unnoticed. But he never abandoned his friends. Even in hell, he never gave up on those people. And I'm so happy to see it. And I love the fact as well. During the moment where Fushi is regenerating, the moment I wanted to talk to about narrator, his eye was glowing gold. I don't know what it means because we don't know enough about the character as a whole. But whether it was just reacting because Fushi's body was burning, generating heat, I don't know if it was him giving him a nudge or something, because his eye was definitely doing something. And I was like, well, if it's just reacting to the brightness of his body, both eyes would do it. One eye only doing it makes me think he was doing something. Bon's magnificent beard is an absolutely thing of beauty. Let's talk about now going into the noblest sacrifice. Protect his family at the same time and his friends and even Fushi without Fushi even knowing. It's a lie. We understand for Bon. You're telling a lie, right? I'm going to admit you're the devil. He knows it's obviously best for his family because he doesn't want the church to go after his family. We know he's not going to do it because he basically needs to prove that he's alive and survived the night, which is what he does. But then when they ask him, you announce that Fushi is the devil. And he's like, yeah, sure, maybe he is. But then it's like, nah, I like Fushi. I prefer Fushi. Even if he is a devil, I'm on team Fushi all the way. Same with me, guys. If Fushi is a devil, sign me up for being a devil worshipper, I guess. In the form of a message from a tacky demon who is wearing those tights with lipstick, smelling like cat pee. How dare you imprison my son, aka Devil Fushi. I love the fact that it's like, I'm not going to do it anymore. If you pursue us, we're going to kill you. So it's a big old warning to stop them pursuing Fushi, but also admitting, hey, he is the devil. The end of an unsung hero. Bon dying as an equal with the ghosts around him. The ghosts telling him, no one was there. I died a meaningless death. I didn't save anybody either. But Bon's death may go unnoticed, but Bon's death, I think, would have saved a lot of people. He's a noble death, but nobody will know it's noble. I love the fact that he's one with the ghosts right at the end and they're all talking about their deaths and, hey, it's okay, you know what? You are so noble. We appreciate what you have done. Bon dying, the most loyalist friend, unable to betray Fushi at the end. That brought a tear to my eye. Actually thinking about it right now, I feel really emotional. Thank God I don't do webcams with you guys because I'd be crying on it. Really sad meeting Bon. There was something in him, I was like, I don't fully trust it, but it's more the fact that what I was seeing wasn't Bon, because he's actually hiding the fact that he's actually the most loyalist person on the planet. He was using that flamboyantness as a cover. But I want to know, where is the war? You've just killed a prince. And sure, you could use the prince is a heretic thing, but you just killed a prince. Where is this war? Where is the war from one country to another country because you just murdered somebody? The fact that Fushi oversees everything, I want to believe that Fushi comes down and saves him. It's not going to happen. He'd be rendering the sacrifice that Bon makes worthless if you go down and suddenly save him and then you show that you're alive again. I think that that's not what's going to happen. This is why I think Bon is dead. I think Fushi's just there to witness his end. Fushi didn't let it go, and perhaps he also didn't buy the lies that he was being fed, but he can't go down and save him. Heartbreaking, but it is a new form for Fushi, the only silver lining I can see, and I really hope that the church end up crashing down horribly. Can't forgive them for any of this. Next week, it does seem that we're going to go and talk about something else, which could be a good thing for my books. Kohaku could be the weak link. As I predicted, it's possible that he's going to end up being a weak link and stopping Hayase getting her way, because apparently in the teaser, Hayase is now talking, which probably is the whole, we need to go and do bad things, blah, blah, blah. Kohaku really loves Fushi. It's a possibility he's just going to rip it out. And I really hope he just rips it out. Really hope that he is the end of the Hayase line. And I want it to be Hayase's own blood and image that ends up ending her. I really hope that's going to be the case, because that is so poetic. But we will have to see next week. As I now go and cry again, thank you to your eternity. Really appreciate it. But it's not so much I'm traumatized. It's just I'm really sad. I don't think he's going to come back. If he does, that's great. But I think if he comes back, it would undersell the act he's just done. His noble act of trying to get Fushi out of there protected and also protecting his family. We'll have to see what happens there. But I don't want to believe that they're just going to sit and take the death of their son laying down. I don't know what Fushi's going to do next. Fushi's with Todo right now, which is cool. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I think it was a very interesting episode. It was a different episode, but it still made me cry. Many tears were had this season. We've still got a lot to go. Only on episode 7. We've got a lot of episodes. God knows where we're going to be when it comes to episode 23 or whatever it is. Thank you guys so much. I really hope you're looking after yourselves. Make sure you take some time out after this to go do something a bit more uplifting. Thank you so much. I will see you again next week. Bye bye.